Aries Rising, welcome here to Soul Passages Astrology. I am your astrologer, Georgia Dempsey, and I am so thrilled that you decided to join me for your March eclipse report. This is a really potent time for all of us. There's so much happening in the universe right now, and seeing things ahead can certainly give you a little handle on things. So information is always a good thing. And the eclipse is going to be happening towards the evening of March 8th into March 9th. But these are such game-changing events that the event might not actually happen on that day, but even 2 weeks before or possibly 2 weeks after. But whatever goes down, it's likely to have an impact on your life for 6 months to possibly a year. So it's a pretty huge thing. Well, and for you, I'd say it's a really big thing because it's going to be happening in your 12th house. So let's take a look at what the 12th house means. It's kind of a hidden house for you. It's in Pisces. It has a watery, spiritual, emotional feel to it. It has a lot to do with your subconscious mind. It has to do with spirituality, seeking the divine, the collective unconsciousness or collective consciousness, just depending on how you look at things. And sometimes how we imprison ourselves, like our own thoughts and fears and inhibitions, things that we do to get in our own way, can also have to do with secret enemies. So things that happen behind the scenes or under the deep watery realms, all of these things are possible. Has to do with institutions like the government, hospitals, ashrams, things of that nature. And so you have got so many planets lined up in that kind of secret, mysterious house. So let's break it down a little so you can get a sense of what could be happening. First of all, you have Mercury in Pisces there. That's your planet of communications. And in Pisces, I think of, discussing emotional things, discussing spiritual things, talking to people on a soul level. Okay, very important. That's sitting right next to Neptune. Also, all of these planets in Pisces. Now, Neptune is related to Venus. It's the higher octave of Venus. It can have, again, a very spiritual feeling to it. It can also bring a lot of unclarity or fogginess and a time where you really need to use wisdom to figure out what the truth of things is and to not have your rose-colored glasses on, right? And yet, on the other hand, it could be a time where you could actually hear angelic messages and that could be true. So you just have to be the one that discerns the truth for yourself. It also has an extremely compassionate feel to it. And one of the things with this 12th house so loaded up, it makes me think of you just being able to feel or sense the suffering in the world on a huge level. And it's good to be aware of that and to try to do something about it, but not to take it on because it could be overwhelming, honestly. That Neptune also in that 12th house makes me think of, dream messages. How important would that be right now? If you have dreams around eclipse time, really pay attention. Write them down, draw them out, title them. And then if you get a chance, go online and start breaking down the symbology because I'll tell you, your dreams could be extremely powerful right now. and could bring you lots of information. Another thing that I think of are hypnotic states could be very powerful, and we'll get more into that. But I think just delving into the subconscious mind around this time could be extremely potent for you. We also have the sun in that 12th house. And again, this is like a kind of hidden dark part of the chart. And here's your vital yang energy sitting in this quiet section of your birth chart. And it's right next to Chiron at times during the eclipse. Chiron is the wounded healer. It is a centaur, and it's like that feeling of the wound that can never be healed. And yet I tell you, if you can heal that wound, it makes you the strongest that you could possibly be. This is pretty amazing, really. But when you put the two of those together, I get a sense of you trying to figure out who you are and having a hard time doing that, because that sun is that, who am I? And Chiron is this feeling of holding back, or I don't know, or a woundedness of who I am. And so part of me thinks that one of the real messages for you this eclipse season is to recognize yourself as soul and to seek the light, right? Seek the light. Begin with that premise, you as spirit, all right? And to get in touch with that essence of who you are. It's also a call for you to develop your life path and your destiny, right? And this is a great opportunity for you to change your karma to dharma. It's huge right at this time. So if you've had something going on that hasn't been working and it's just been causing you a great deal of suffering, this is the opportunity through meditation, prayer, forgiveness to flip that switch and get things going in a different direction. And that sun, not feeling so wounded at a core level, trying to find a way to move forward, because this is, after all, a potent new moon. So it's a time to plant seeds for moving forward and going beyond whatever has been. All right, so if you're feeling a dark night of the soul, and some of you might be, because there's no light during a new moon phase, just know there is light. Seek the light. And you'll have to be creative in how you do that. And I say that because you've got Saturn in Sagittarius up in the 9th house. And that 9th house is called the road to God. And Saturn brings delays and restrictions and sometimes burdens and hard work and effort and all of this. And it's on the road to God. So it's like, oh, why am I feeling so blocked on the road to God? This should be like a free fall, right? Well, maybe you're questioning things because it's in Sag. You're seeking the truth. And, maybe the religion you were brought up with your parents is exactly right for you. If so, that's great. Or you may be saying, hey, I don't know if this works for me. And if it doesn't, then you need to find the truth in your own fashion. And that could involve delving deeply into other world religions and philosophies. It could eventually mean even studying philosophy at school or taking a long journey overseas to visit different cultures, because there's also a cultural feeling to this 9th house. And so, the answers may not be here right now, but it isn't all about the destination, right? With Saturn, you've got to learn it's all about the journey, because it's going to take time to find the answers that you're seeking. And this is a new phase, a new beginning. And right now you're kind of feeling like, oh, it's dark out there, I don't know. Well, just keep searching. And in time, you will find the answers that you need. All right, another thing you're going to see in this configuration is the moon is involved too. And then depending upon the timing of the eclipse, it's also conjunct Chiron. So wow, we've got a lot going on here and just an absolute need for all of us to heal. And when we think about the moon, it represents emotions. It represents habit patterns, gut instincts, intuition, the past. So another thing that comes to my mind is past lives. I'm a hypnotist. I believe in multiple lives. And I've read many books where by delving into the past, you can help to heal things in the present, for example. Sometimes in past lives, we have wonderful things happen, things that make us feel empowered, on top of things, smart, wise, all of these things. And other times we have past lives where we are given very difficult lessons, painful lessons, and sometimes we don't always resolve the issues of those before we exit that incarnation. By delving into the past, into the subconscious mind, into previous lives, it is possible to go back in time, heal whatever it was that brought the issue forth, and that actually can help you on your current path today. So if you believe in that evolution of the soul and the fact that we journey over many thousands and thousands and thousands of years, it kind of makes sense to clean up the baggage, right? Get rid of the old stuff that's not working, quit carrying that forward, heal it so that you have a better, brighter path forward in the future. Okay, so that can be very, very amazingly powerful. And the moon has all to do with the past. And changing, if we want to change habit patterns, or if we want to get out of our own way, learning how to let go of inhibitions and fears. And, sometimes we imprison our own selves, right? I think Krishnamurti said the only prisons that are really, truly prisons are our own mind. So how are we holding ourselves back with our thought patterns or the way we go about things? So if we've been undoing some of our own good, this is a great opportunity to set things straight and head down on a great road for the future, right? Now, with an eclipse with the South Node in the 12th house, especially it's retrograde, so I get the feeling of old stuff coming forward. And it has the feeling of other people delivering events into our lives. That's usually what's happening with the South Node. And it seems during South Node eclipses, other people are more in charge of our future, right? Or they have an impact on our future, I should say. So information coming in is going to impact us. An event is going to impact us. Some circumstance is going to impact us. And the thing that's a little tough here is, again, the information that's coming through, because Mercury's next to Neptune, it could be kind of cloudy, it could be foggy, it could be unclear, and it's hard to see your way. And smacked all over the top of this is just the need for us to heal. That is one of the absolute hugest things I see in all of this. So you've got all this happening in your 12th house. Meanwhile, let's look over to the opposite house, which is house 6. That is the house of service, of mind, body, spirit connection and health, and everyday work stuff. Now, though we're getting things kind of delivered to us on the 12th house end, the 6th house is where we can feel more empowered, more in charge of what's going on, and it's where our greatest blessings lie. So this is great because we've got Jupiter and the North Node sitting there. And Jupiter's a very benefic planet. It is retrograde, but it is still a very lucky planet. And it rules over things like mind, body, spirit, health, especially in that 6th house. So what practices can you put together, Jupiter and Virgo, that have to do with whole foods, with acupuncture, rolfing, massage, Tai Chi, any kind of healthy practice that is going to put together a well-connected, healthy you, because the more we have ourselves in alignment, the more we can give out to the world, right? And so this would be very powerful to get in touch with all of those very healthy practices right now, and your blessings lie in this direction. Also, finding a way to be of service to the world. And since this is the house of service, again, you may be dealing with some big catastrophic event. I mean, that's actually quite possible with an eclipse like this, where you're seeing a lot of destruction in the world, the suffering in the world, just how people are wounded. You could be having, dreams that highlight this, or you could actually be at an actual event. And the message is to find a way to be of service. That's how you can help heal what's going on there in the 12th house. And it can be anything. It could be, Doctors Without Borders. It could be working in some war-torn country doing something. It could be Habitat for Humanity. I mean, the thoughts are endless. But anyhow, finding a path where you can feel like you're helping with that suffering that you're seeing, that would be absolutely amazing, and a positive way of handling this eclipse. And again, some of that Saturn up there in the 9th could be about that. You could have a calling to go back to school, and you're trying to figure out, what should I study so that I can make a difference? That would be awesome right here. Or working with some institutions, churches, other organizations, again, to be of service to the world. So it kind of depends on your own chart and exactly how things are laid out, how it's going to pan out for you. But there is a way to make a difference right now. I definitely see that. All right. And all of us are being called right now to work on soul evolution, as well as raising our consciousness level. So if you are seeing some world event where it's what you're seeing is hard, how can you raise the level of awareness for all of us as to what's going on so that we can raise our vibration, raise the world vibration, and make this a better place for all of us to live? That would be brilliant, honestly. Okay, another thing I really want to mention at this time is that Neptune. I know Neptune can bring unclarity, sometimes fogginess, but it is also a great way to connect with things behind the veil. And boy, hypnosis, your dreams, intuition, angelic messages, anything that you get like that you feel like you can trust, could be very powerful for you right now. So finding a way to tap in, finding your life purpose, and being able to connect to the divine. And again, if you're feeling blocked right now, just continue the seeking, because the light is really just around the corner. That is one of the main messages I want to leave with you. So if you have some sort of dark night of the soul going on, Aries Rising, my best advice to you is seek the light. It's there, it's brilliant, and you will find your path forward. So Aries Rising, if you need some more information regarding this upcoming eclipse, remember I am still running my 1-hour special for $50 until March 1st. My contact information is at the beginning of the video. Also, I would absolutely love to hear from you regarding what goes down this eclipse season. Let me know if my forecast was online. Let me know what's going on in your life. Give me some feedback. And if the video helped you in any way along your journey, please give me a like and a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Appreciate it so much. Take care of yourselves.